Atma Tattva Vishuddhyartam. But Vishuddhi, purification. Generally, there is impure understanding of the Atma Tattva. There is impure understanding of Jiva Tattva, and there is the impure understanding of the Paramatma Tattva. Jiva Tattva misunderstanding is, we think we are the body. This misidentification is the impurity. Is to think that Paramatma is on the same level as Atma. You see, once again, Prabhupada is coming to this subject. When we think that we are the body, when there is impure understanding of Jivatma, it leads to karma activities. We think I am the body, and we engage in activities simply to gratify the body, and that's called karma activity. And when there is impurity in the understanding of Paramatma, which when we think that Jivatma is on the same platform or is on the same level as Paramatma in all respects, then it is the jnana contamination. And jnana contamination can be removed by bhakti. And that bhakti yoga is like the sunshine. When there is no sunshine, we cannot see ourselves, we cannot see the world, and we cannot see the sun. But when there is sunshine, we can see ourselves, we can see the world, and we can see the sun, the source of both the world. Both the world and can see the Son of Krishna, who is the source of both the living entity and the material world. So, Atma Tattva Vishuddhyartam. What is the goal of this Atma Tattva Vishuddhi? What should be the goal? Jivatma Tattva and Paramatma Tattva Vishuddhyartam. That is being pointed out. And that goal is Darshayan Rupam. In other words, Parikshit had asked about the Lord and His form, and Shukadev Goswami is saying that when one is purified in his Atma Tattva, purification of both Jivatma Tattva and Paramatma Tattva, the result of that, the goal of that Artham is Darshayan Rupam. Bhagavan Darshayan Rupam is to see face to face. And that is what happened to Brahma. Brahmane Darshayan Rupam. The Lord revealed His form to Brahma. And what was that form? Ritham Rupam. That is the form of truth. It is not an untrue form. It is not a temporary form. Like we have a form, our form, this is an untrue form. It is asat form, untrue, because it does not endure. The Lord's form is Ritham Rupam, is an eternal form, is an everlasting form, so it is Sat Rupa. So that eternal form of the Lord, Bhagavan Ritham Rupam Brahmane Darshayan. That eternal form of the Lord was revealed. Darshayan became manifest, revealed to Brahmane. And why did the Lord do that to Brahma? Because of Avyalika Vrathadrataha. Because he performed Vratha and worshipped Adritaha, Adharanam, Adharana. He worshipped the Lord with a vow, and that vow was Avyalika, non-deceptive. Sincere, in an earnest manner, he did that vratha. And so, Lord was pleased, and to Brahmane Darshayan Rupam. Brahmane Darshayan Bhagavan Ritham Rupam. And not only did he show Darshayan Rupam, yet aha, he also spoke. The Lord spoke to Brahma. He revealed his form and spoke to Brahma. This is how Shukadeva Goswami is saying. So from this wonderful verse, Prabhupada draws various understanding about the whole science of Krishna consciousness. As stated in Gita. Now look at this. In the verse it never says Bhakti Yoga anywhere. Nowhere Bhakti Yoga is mentioned. But Prabhupada says Lord Brahma, the personality of Godhead being very much pleased with Lord Brahma because of his non-deceptive penance in Bhakti Yoga. And throughout the purport, Prabhupada is again and again referring to Bhakti Yoga. Shukadeva Goswami only said Avyalika Vrathadrataha because Prabhupada justifies that. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Bhaktyamam abhijanati yavan yaschasmi tattvataha tatho mam tattva. Krishna can be known only by Bhakti Yoga. And here Brahma came to understand the Lord. He could hear the Lord. He could perceive the Lord. He could visualize the Lord. Such understanding is possible only by Bhakti Yoga. And hence, Vratha and Adrataha here refers to Bhakti Yoga. Because no other yoga will reveal the Lord's personal form. So that is why the whole emphasis is on Bhakti Yoga. It is the Bhakti Yoga which reveals the Son of Krishna. It reveals the truth about the Jiva. And that is the power of Bhakti, as Prabhupada is explaining. So, Atmatattva Vishuddhyartham Yadaha Bhagavan Ritam Brahmane Darshayan Rupam Avyalika Vrathadrataha. Here, another word that is used by Shukadeva Goswami is also important, Avyalika Vratha. Avyalika means truthful, non-deceptive. Now, sometimes living entities perform also vratha, but which is not, which is deceptive. The living entity has different kinds of motive, and one motive could be just some material benefits, because he has no Vishuddha Atma Tattva. He has no clear, pure understanding about himself. He is thinking he is the body, and so he thinks that gratification of the body is the goal of life, and being religious, being influenced by a religious spirit, he practices religion also, and the purpose of his practice of religion is some sense gratification. But Brahma was performing avyalika vratatrutaha, not any deceptive thing, not any factual, earnest, sincere practice of vrata, of bhakti. Or similarly, by a similar misunderstanding of the Atma Tattva, sometimes living entities take up vrata with an intent to become famous, with an intent to become powerful, with an intent for labha, with an intent to become adored by others. You see? So, and when people adore such people, and they get a kind of a gratification. So, Brahma's vrata was free from all such deception, to be known, to become powerful, to become well known, to be respected and adored by others. When people are well known like that, and they become famous, and people are adoring them, then there is a kind of a gratification. Once I was in one crowded airport, and suddenly there was a lot of people, and they were all looking at somebody, and so that person was walking, and there were a few people with their mobile phone. As he is walking, 4 or 5 people, and many others also behind him, and there are a few people trying to stop the others from, they have bouncers. And so I was watching and I couldn't make out. And then I asked someone, who's this person? They said, oh, you know? He said, he's Saurav Ganguly. I said, oh. You see, some famous persons like that, when they are walking in a public place, immediately their people are taking mobile, photograph, video, and this and that, and they feel great gratification. It is said that when such adoration comes, even hormones begin to act in an extraordinary way, and they will become, that Josh. Pleasure. See how much I am being recognized by other living entities. You see, it's a great pleasure. Actually, Lord is the one who deserves that pleasure, not us. What are we glorious about? Nothing. Because everything is given to us by the Lord. Eko bahuna kyo vidadati kama. He is the provider. All abilities come from Krishna. Buddhir buddhiyatam asmi tejas tejasvinamaham.
If somebody has some tejas, that tejas of the tejasvi is from the Lord. If somebody is buddhiman, sarva bhuteshu shabdhake paurusham drushu. If there is some paurusham in a person, and that is coming from the Lord. And when that is coming from the Lord, and I keep that, and I claim it's my paurusham, it is my tejas. And people who are ignorant of the real source, and they adore such people, and they feel very gratified. See how this happens? That's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu points out the process of Krishna consciousness given by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is about complete purification. That is why in the very first verse, Shiksha says, Chetodarpanamarjanam, Chittamarjanam, purification of the consciousness. And that happens by Krishna Sankirtana. So, right now, our consciousness is polluted. We think we are the body, and some great ability in the body is my ability. If I can sing well, if I can speak well, if I can solve complex problems, it's me. But for doing all that, I am borrowing from Krishna, but I am claiming it is mine, and I am very proud. That's why Prabhupada makes one statement in the Bhagavatam purport. We should not be proud of borrowed plumes. Once a bird plumes from a peacock and put it on his head. And then he was very, now I'm also like peacock. But what is he? He's not a peacock. All the plumes are, he's a crow. But he has borrowed the plumes from a peacock. And he is claiming that I am the crow, I am the peacock. In the same way, the living entities, we take all the abilities given to us by Krishna and we think it is mine. This is another Vishuddha, Avishuddha. This is another impurity. And so, with a deceptive motive, avyalika, with a deceptive motive, we perform spiritual life, we perform material life, all kinds of life with a hidden motive that I must get some gratification, either gross gratification or subtle gratification. It is only in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's philosophy we are warned that this puja, pratishta, labha, all these are impurities arising out of our own impure understanding of ourselves and of the Lord and our situation in this world. There are many spiritual, religious leaders in our country and anywhere in the world. They are getting such adoration. They are not even knowing that this adoration is actually poison for me. All deserves this. They are also enjoying that. They are not even aware that I should not be enjoying like this. That is why Krishna says, Arjuna, I will speak to you this knowledge because you are not envious of me. And what does he speak in the 9th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita? He says, I am the Bhokta, I am the Prabhu, I am the Lord, I am the enjoyer of all sacrifices and penances of all living entities that they perform, because I am the Prabhu, I am the Master, I am the Supreme. So in the 9th chapter, Krishna is clearly revealing his position as the supreme position, as the supreme Lord, and as the supreme Bhakta means enjoyer. Krishna is the enjoyer. In the 5th chapter also Krishna concluded, Bhoktaram yajna tapasam sarvaloka maheshwaram. Once again in the 9th chapter, Krishna brings up that point, Aham Prabhu, Aham Bhoktaha, Sarva Yajnanam. I am the enjoyer. So Krishna is the enjoyer. And in fact, Prabhupada points out in the purport, 5th chapter, Bhoktaram yajna tapasam sarvaloka maheshwaram. It appears like Krishna is saying of all yajna and tapas, he is the bhokta. If somebody is performing yajna, Krishna is the enjoyer of that one. If somebody is performing tapasya, Krishna is the enjoyer of that one. But Srila Prabhupada in the purport expands that in every human activity, there is some tapasya and there is some sacrifice. And Krishna should be the enjoyer of all human activity. Not just religious activities, including business activities, political activities, social activities, scientific activities, entertainment. You take any human activity where there is a certain amount of tapasya, there is a certain amount of sacrifice. If you become a big cricketer, you think he has not performed tapasya? You think he has not performed sacrifice? In one interview, Sachin Tendulkar's wife tells, the day he retired from cricket, there was some information. And then she said, when sometimes we go to a restaurant, I know Sachin likes this food, but he doesn't eat. But when we go somewhere that such good food is served, he eats only a little. See the sacrifice he is making? If we find nice prasadam, we immediately happily have it, because we are knowing not any Sachin Tendulkar. But for him, he has to be careful about his body, how he looks, how he is able to play, the agility of the bodily limbs. All this is essential, otherwise he can't be Sachin Tendulkar. See how much sacrifice they make and how many hours of practice they put in. This is all tapasya. This is yajna. But they are doing it in ignorance, just to hone their own skills so that they will be adored. So, like as if you see scientists, they perform a lot of hard work, researching, politicians, a lot of hard work they put in. I know politicians, some of them closely we have seen. This man I know, he comes for some meetings at 10 o'clock in the night. And sometimes he is up by 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning. So from 6 o'clock in the morning almost up to midnight, they work. 7 days a week they work. To be political leaders is not easy, especially in our country, full of population, big population. Somebody or the other coming with some problem or the other, they have to attend, they cannot displease, they will lose one vote. So a lot of hard work they put in. Austerity and sacrifice. Krishna should be the enjoyer. In other words, Krishna is the owner of everything. He is the enjoyer of everything. And because of Avishuddha Atma Tattva, because we don't have pure understanding of Atma Tattva, we think I should be the enjoyer. And so we perform all kinds of activities, including religious activities and Vrata and Adritaha with Vyalika, deceptive. But Brahma's performance was Avyalika Vrata Adritaha. He had a pure intent, not any deceptive intent. I must please the Lord, and the Lord became pleased, and Darshayan Rupam. And so the Lord revealed His transcendental form. His form is Rutham, real form. Sarvam etat Rutham manye yanmam vadasi Keshava. Bhagavad Gita. Arjuna says that. When Krishna spoke, we are talking about 4 verses of the Bhagavatam. In the same way, Prabhupada says, the 4 verses of the Gita. Just like the entire Bhagavatam is summarized in 4 verses, the entire Bhagavad Gita is summarized in the 4 verses in the 10th chapter, beginning with Aham sarvasya prabhavo matthas sarvam pravartate iti matva. That's the first 4 verses. Soon after hearing those 4 verses, Arjuna says, Param Brahma Parandama Purusham Shashvatam Divyam Adidevam Ajam Vidu Ahustvam Rishayas Sarve Devarshir Naradastata Asito Devalo Vyasa Swayam Chaiva Pravishine Sarvamet Dhrutamanye Yanmam Vadasi Keshava. Keshava, all that you have described, I accept that as the truth. Rutham, it is real, it is truth, it is not unreal. In the same way, Rutham Rupam Darshayan. So it is a true form of the Lord. This form of ours, this is not our true form. The Lord has a true form, and we also have a true form when we are qualified, and that will be revealed. So, in this way, the form was revealed. And all of this constitutes the Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita knowledge. Knowledge about the soul, knowledge about the super soul, and understanding about the transcendental form of the Lord, and what is the process for understanding, which is Bhakti Yoga, and how that Bhakti Yoga should be performed, Avyadika Pratadritaha, without any deception, with a pure motive. And that is why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he is teaching, Na dhanam, na janam. I don't want any number of followers who are adoring me, who are worshipping me, who are appreciating me. I don't even want that. Mama janmani janmani. So, to come to this platform of Avyalika Vratadritaha, Avyalika Vratadharana, Adharana of the Lord is not an easy thing. Unless we become Vishuddha, we cannot. All these hidden motives will be driving us. Even in devotional service, we have to be careful. We may sing very nicely, and when we are singing, we are thinking at the end, will somebody come and say, oh, such a nice kirtan you did, Prabhu. Or if we are giving a class, we are thinking in the end, somebody will come and say, such a nice class you gave. Or if you are doing deity worship, oh, so nicely. So, correct, I am so great. You should tell more of that. You see how the gratification comes? Even in devotional activities, this gratification can come. Because we are not Shuddhatma. The whole process is the whole struggle is how to do this with purity. How to do devotional service with purity. Then darshayan rupam. Then the Lord will reveal His form. Yad aha. Then the Lord will speak to us. Prabhupada says, if we chant Hare Krishna with sincerity and Priti Purvakam, then Krishna will speak to you. This is the promise of Srila. Krishna is all powerful. He is seated in our heart. That is the mercy of the Lord. When we wanted to come away to the material world, Krishna expanded Himself as Paramatma. I will also come with you. I don't want you to be lost. I will always be there to guide you. And He expands Himself and comes to the material world. Can we think of any greater expression of kindness of the Lord than this? And we are such fools. We want to take all kinds of bodies, including the body of a hog or an insect or a worm, and Krishna comes there also, along with the living entity as Paramatma. And of course, Krishna is always in a transcendental situation. His situation is never compromised. Whereas we, living entities, we come under guna. Like we read yesterday. Kalamayayo, in the previous verse. Ramamano Guneshpasya. In different kinds of bodies, different kinds of gunas influence, and we define different kinds of pleasure. Just like Prabhupada often quoted this example, because this should actually shake us from our understanding. The hog's pleasure. What is the hog's pleasure? All dirty things. That living entity is a pure soul capable of serving transcendental Lord, but what has happened to him? That's why Prabhupada gives the example. Once Indra was cursed and he became a hog. And he was in the hog body and he had hog wife and hog children and the whole hog family. And Lord Brahma felt compassion for Indra and he came to the earth and he came to that hog, Indra hog, and said, my dear Indra, do you know your true position? You are Devendra. You are Swargaroka Devendra. What are you doing here? Please come with me, I'll take you there. And he looked at the hog looked at the other hogs around him. My wife, my children, all these responsibilities I have. How can I? In sarcastic way, Prabhupada is telling, this is what we do. Instead of taking to devotional service with all earnestness and seriousness, we are thinking, no, my body is there. My family body is there, this body is there, all these are my duties. I have to do these duties. And we become absorbed in these kind of activities in the material world for our sense gratification, self-gratification. Because we don't have Shuddha, Vishuddha Atma Tattva. We don't have a correct understanding, pure understanding of our Atma Tattva. So these are all very nicely brought out by Srila Prabhupada in this purport, and in the end Prabhupada says, Yad aha Bhagavan aha. Lord spoke to Brahma. Those 4 verses, that is, this chapter will reveal that, it will come in the next few verses. And so, the words coming from Bhagavan, they are transcendental words. So, Srimad Bhagavatam is transcendental words. And hence, by associating with the transcendental word, we become purified. And that's why the system is Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. Every day we hear Bhagavatam. Hearing, our understanding, our convictions, all this becomes purified. Because this is transcendental sound. This is not mundane sound. And that transcendental sound further elaborated by great devotees. Shukadeva, Narada, Vyasa, and Srila Prabhupada, further elaborating in the form of purports. And Prabhupada wanted us to have this as a daily practice, so that we will also become Vishuddha, Atma Tattva Vishuddhatam. We'll stop here. Any questions?
Which form Lord revealed to Paramatma form?
So Prabhupada says in another place, the form that the Lord revealed to Brahma was Sri Krishna. And that is why after that Brahma composed Brahma Samhita. Of course, Krishna's form includes all the other transcendental forms of the Lord. So it is not that Krishna, Brahma could not see other forms. It was a complete revelation. Complete revelation means Krishna and all his transcendental forms. So Brahma became fully enlightened.
Darshan means physically he gave darshan to, or it was revealed in the heart.
Yes, Prabhupada says, darshan, when we say, just like I am seeing you, you can see Krishna if you have a qualification, if your eyes are qualified, if your heart and your consciousness are qualified. And there was one conversation in the presence of one visitor, and that the reporter asked, does God tell you what you should do? And what is he asking? Prabhupada, he's asking God, does God tell you what you should? And then the devotee started explaining to the reporter, you see, Krishna is the source of all intelligence, and so when you get an idea, when you get something from your intelligence, it is actually coming from Krishna. Prabhupada said, no, Krishna actually tells a devotee what he should do. Krishna speaks to a devotee. Actually, it's a fact. Paramatma is right there in our what is he's waiting to speak to us. But we are so absorbed in the clutter of this material world, the chatter of this material world. We don't want to hear him. So that's why Prabhupada says, Purvakam dadami buddhi yogam tam enamam upayantite. If we are able to do Priti Purvakam, then dadami buddhi yogam tam enamam upayantite. Satata yuktana bhajatam Priti Purvakam. Our bhajatam should be Priti Purvakam bhajana. Satata yuktana, it should be Priti Purvaka yuktaha, engaged in the activities of devotional service. If that Priti Purvakam is there, that is the qualification. Krishna will speak to us. So, like that.
The next Brahma creates the living entities, he creates the body.
He creates the body, he creates the material world, he creates Kala.
He creates Shiva borns from him, like from the eyes.
Yeah.
That is Rudra.
Yeah.
So 11 Rudras are there. How to understand what is this?
I also don't know. So when you read from, there are 11 Rudras, and of them Sadashiva is there.
One place it is, in Bhagavad Gita, Prabhupada is telling ki from the between the eyebrows, Shiva comes of the Lord's eyebrows.
I'm not sure. Please
Thank
be
you.
careful. Yes, Madhura.
Prabhu, furthering to the question of Harinam Prabhu, in Bhagavad Gita also, one place Krishna showed his four-armed form, then two-armed form to Arjuna. And then Arjuna is saying, oh Janardana, seeing this, and it's very difficult to behold this form. So there, which form is most glorified, the two-armed form, four-armed form, or if it is two-armed form, this is something which was already Arjuna was seeing before also and everybody has seen. So how can we understand this form is very difficult to be seen?
Yes. You see, because in the Bhagavad, in the beginning, in the 10th chapter, Krishna talks about how the Lord is manifest in this material world through his energies, through his Aishwarya, through his mystical Aishwarya. Right? He says, Rasoham apsu kaunteya prabhasmi shashi surya yoho. It begins in the 7th chapter, Krishna begins to say that. In the 9th chapter also he says, and in the so that Rasoham apsu kaunteya, 7th chapter. In the 9th chapter also, Sarvametat Kritam Mayatatam Idam Sarvam Jagad Avyakta Murtina. I am manifest in the material world in an unmanifest form. So, and then in the 10th chapter, further Krishna explains that how he is manifest in the material world. Among the immovables, I am the Himalayas. I am among the reservoirs of water, I am the ocean. So, when Krishna says that how his energetic manifestations are present here, Arjuna asked the question, can I see that form of yours with all these energetic manifestations? Yad Aishwarya Rupam says, all right, I will show you. And he shows the Virat Rupa, Vishwarupa. And when Vishwarupa, when Arjuna sees Vishwarupa, Vishwarupa does not evoke love. Vishwarupa invokes fear. That's why Arjuna is full of fear. I pay my respects to you. Maybe Krishna, I have sat with you, joked with you, eaten with you. I have offended you. I didn't know you are this Vishwarupa. You are having this is your true nature. I didn't know that. You see how Vishwarupa inspires fear because it's really powerful manifestation. And so after seeing that, Krishna says, I can't behold this, please. I cannot tolerate this anymore. And then the Lord says, all right, and then he manifests his four-armed form. And then Arjuna is still not satisfied because Arjuna's relationship with Krishna, with the Lord, is that of Sakhya Rasa, with a friend, as a friend. And so Krishna assumes his two-armed form. And then Krishna is saying, and that is the most difficult form to behold. Arjuna was qualified and so he was able to behold. For us, that is the most confidential form of the Lord, Shyamasundara form. And in that Shyamasundara form, to properly understand his Shyamasundara Leela, that is Braj Leela, in his true manifestation, that is very, very rare. That's what Brahma says. This Govindam Adipurusham Kshiti Viralachara Katipaye. In this world, in this Kshiti, it is Virala. It's rarely understood, rarely seen. Even Krishna says that iti guhyatamam shastram. This is the most confidential part of the Vedic knowledge. In the 15th chapter. Iti guhyatamam shastram. 15 last verse you take. Iti guhyatamam shastram idamuktam maya nagha etat bhuttva buddhiman syat kritakrityascha bharata. What is it that is the most confidential part of the Shastram? The previous verse you read. Yo mamevam asammudo janati purushottamam sasarvavid bhajate mam sarva bhavena bharata. This understanding. What is that? Yo mamevam asammudo janati. Asammudo janati means without any doubt. Janati, he knows. Yaha, who knows that Purushottama. Krishna is the Purushottama. One who knows that without any doubt, with full conviction, Krishna is the Purushottama. One who knows that, Sasarvavit, he is the knower of everything. There is nothing else that he has to eat. There is no ignorance in him. Bhajati mam. And when he knows that everything, what does he do? Mam bhajati. And how does he do? Sarva bhavena bharata. Sarva bhavena bhajati. With full heart, with full attention, with full devotion, in ecstasy, he bhajati mam. And this understanding that the Supreme Lord is the Purushottama, that free from understanding, free from any doubt, that understanding and to render service, sarva bhavena bhajati, this is iti guhyatamam shastra. This is the most confidential part of the Vedic literature. You see how people who read Bhagavad Gita, they miss all these things. Only because of Prabhupada's mercy, we are able to hold on to these truths. We'll stop here. Grantaraj Srimad
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Jai Shri Prabhupada.